3 and a 4 and a. I am just a poor boy, though my story's seldom told. I have squandered my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles, such are promises. All lies are just, still a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. La la la. La 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 la. Hey, Drew James here from LearnGuitarInLondon.com, and I'm playing The Boxer by Simon and Garfunkel. Well, at least my sing and fingerstyle interpretation of it. This is not 100% to the record, and I did all get really hepped up when I was trying to tab it out, thinking I want to do that awesome intro and I want to do every single little bit and part, but I ended up just getting so frustrated, and I was like, Drew, just keep it simple. These people out here, you guys want to learn a fingerstyle and vocal version of The Boxer and keeping it simple, and that's exactly what I've done for you. You can get the tab to this version just by joining the student area of my site. Just takes a name and email address. I've put a link in the videos, a link in the video description, so if you'd like to join up, grab the tab and start learning it along with me. Now I'm going to be breaking it down slowly. It's a very fast song, but the reason why I do the counting at the beginning of my videos is so that you can one day play along with me. Don't forget that you can slow down YouTube videos if it is too fast for you at the beginning. So let's start learning how to play it. Let's get our Travis picking going. Let's do it. Now, in essence, the Boxer is a Travis picked pattern. If you know what Travis picking is, you're going to be able to sort of go through this lesson a lot faster. There's also 6 chords. If you know these chords, you're going to be able to go through it a lot faster as well, okay? So the chords are C over G. Now with C over G, you may see me doing this, and I was certainly doing this in my performance. This is the C bass note, this is the G bass note, and it's got this walking thing going on. But really it's a case of do as I say rather than as I do. I just don't know why that's how I prefer to do it, but really a C over G is your normal C, first fret on the B, second fret on the D, and ring finger on 3rd fret on the A, but you move the ring up to the G string and put your little finger underneath, so your 3rd fret on the A string as well. It's a 4-fingered chord. You'd also see something written where it's called a G over B, which is just literally the 1st fret on the A string, A minor, G, this sort of G7 thing, which I'll take you through, and F, but with the thumb coming over the top. Now I'll take you through those chords as and when we get to them, but I just thought I'd give you an overview, okay? So let's talk about the elephant in the room with this song, which is the speed. It is a fast song. To do this picking pattern at the speed required, which is 90 BPM, but it's 16th beats, you're really looking at a speed of... Now, if you can't get to that, my advice is just try the first bar and get the hang of the picking pattern first of all. So let's go through a breakdown of the picking pattern, and then I'll talk to you about what speed training is and how that can help you accomplish the Boxer. So Travis picking pattern simply is thumb on A, index on G, thumb on D, thumb on middle. So just try that to start with. Thumb on A, index on G, thumb on D, middle. Okay, so get the hang of that. Make sure that you can do that in your sleep without really thinking about what fingers are going where anymore. Now the second half of the pattern is exactly the same, but it's thumb on thickest, index on its usual string, the G, then thumb on D again, then middle. So the only thing that's changing this time is that the bass note is on the thickest string. So then to put those two together, we've got thumb on A, index, thumb on D, middle, thumb on thickest, index, thumb on D, middle. Now make sure you can do that clear. The Little tip, what I like to do is anchor point my ring finger on the thinnest string. Some people actually like to anchor point down here at the bridge as well. That's up to you, but finding some sort of anchor on the instrument is really useful. So make sure that you can do this without really thinking about it anymore. That needs to be on autopilot. Now, speed training is where you take that one bar and you start off at a slow speed. You use a metronome preferably to get faster with each increment. Faster still. Faster still. Faster still until you get to your breaking point where you physically can't do it or think about it anymore. It's just a mess, right? When you get to that breaking point, then back it off. Go back in stages. Now, what this process will do, if you do it correctly, is it will mean that where you started will feel super slow because you've been into your breaking point. And it means it will give you that superpower of being able to play faster because you've gone through that process, okay? So do give that a try. Now, once you've got that, let's just get into the song itself. So we've got one bar of C over G. Then the singing starts. Da, 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 da. Okay, so that's the first two bars in the tab. When we get to bar 3, there's a lot going on. So we've got this C, G over B, so just second fret on the A string with the middle finger. And that's just thumb, index, middle, thumb. And then A minor. So making your A minor, first fret on the B, second fret on the D and the G. Play the bass note A, pinch thumb and middle. So that's a slight change in picking pattern. Then thumb on A, index, thumb on D, index, holding down your A minor. So the third bar is where your breakup of this 1E and a 2E and a 1, this sort of flow, it changes in this bar. So I'm going to take you through the rhythm there. So the C over G, 1E and a 2E and a 1, sorry, 3 and 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4E and a. Now, excuse me for doing it faster every time, but you do need to get up to those speeds, okay? So start slow and get the hang of that rhythm. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4E and a. Okay? So that gives us I'll start from bar 2. I am just a C over G and C, G over B, A minor, and then G. Now G couldn't be easier with this pattern. Just hold down the third fret on the thickest string. You really don't need anything else for your G. So just hold that down, and then it's thumb on thickest, index, thumb on D, middle. There's no alternating with the bass notes. Thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, index. Then the G7, really nice way of doing this. Rather than holding down this F, we're going to put our little pinky down on the third fret on the D string instead to get that F. Do the same picking pattern as bar 4. Okay, so here's the G. Get the little finger prepared to do the third fret on the D string. Back to C over G. Okay, so I'll take it up to bars 1 to 6, slowish, with a little bit of vocal, just so we know where we are and what we're doing, okay? And I'm sure you'll probably want to sing this one day too. Just a poor boy, oh my story is seldom told. I have squandered my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles, such a promises. Whoops. Okay, apart from my little hiccup there, because I'm still training myself to use that ring and pinky rather than switching. In bar 6, that's cool. So now, bars 7, 8 and 9. All eyes are just still. Okay, so this bar 7 is the same as bar 3. C, G bass note of C, then A minor with that thumb pinch, thumb, index, middle, index. Then we've got a G, G for half a bar, then F, first fret on the B, second fret on the G, third fret on the D with the thumb over, preferably doing this thing called Hendrix grip, where you grip right over. And for those of you that may be a bit new to the guitar, that might be a challenge to do that. Just hang on in there and keep grabbing for it. Even if it's sort of pulling away, just keep going for it. Picking pattern for this is thumb on thickest, index on G, thumb on D, middle, thumb, index, thumb on D, index. You do that again. Okay, so you do that twice. Still a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the... And on the word rest, you go back to C over G. Rest. Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll recap all the first page now. It goes from bars 1 to 9, very slowly. See if you can play it along with me. 4 E and well done. Okay, good. Take it slow, get the hang of it. Moving into the next page, it's just a G for these G, F with the thumb over, just once, G, and then back to G again. Okay. Now with the F, you can do it as a full bar. You'll actually get the same result, but I'd like you to try bringing the thumb over as well. So that last bar, it goes into 2/4, so it's this, G. And then there's a repeat symbol there, 2 dots. That means we go back to the first bar. So going back to the first bar, I strongly recommend you practice going from 11 back to 1. And that's coming back to 10. Etc, etc. Okay, now it must be stressed as the verses go on with Simon and Garfunkel, something that I've noticed in, I think they only had 2 albums, but in their albums is that they don't necessarily stick to the same amount of bars, or like sometimes there's half bars, there's 2/4 bars, sometimes even sort of like 3 beats in a bar all of a sudden and then moved. And this one is no exception. So while I've shown you what to do melodically and picking wise for every chord to make the song work, I haven't necessarily knitted together every single verse. Okay, I'm going to have to leave that one up to you, but what I can tell you is the information that I've given you for the verses at least is it all works, and it is all accurate. It's just not necessarily bound, because it would have taken about another 8 pages of tab for one thing, exactly as the rhythm states at the end of certain verses. Sometimes they go a bit shorter, sometimes they go longer, and there's longer phrases, but I'll leave that one to you. But it really, once you've got the hang of it and the picking pattern, you can feel your way through. Now there's one other thing that we need to do, and that is the chorus. So we're coming out into bar 12 with the C over G. La, la, la. Now, you can do it but I think, I mean, that's bass down up, but I prefer bass down for this. So anyway, the chords are A minor, G, A minor, G. So it's really simple. And the picking pattern I'm using is thumb on A string, strum with the tip of my index finger, thumb on thickest string, strum. Thumb on A string, that's A minor, and the G, thickest string, A string, thickest string, A string, A string, thickest string, A string, thickest string, G, 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 back to. Now, moving from strumming technique into the fast finger picking technique, that will be your biggest challenge in the whole song, because you're going from something that's quite big movement on the right hand into something that's very comped down and intricate on the right hand. So you're going to really need to practice that. Okay, so here's your chorus again. Na, na, na. Na, 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 na. Now that was slow, you know, and at full speed. So you can see there's going to be a bit of practice there to get the hang of that, okay? Now, just a little thought I've had for future choruses on the la la la. The first time you could do this, la 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 la, but then when you get to the chorus, maybe second or third time, because it's getting a bit dull perhaps to the listener's ears, if it's just you and a guitar, you could go la la la, la la, just put that little up in, okay? Just an idea, little jam that I've had right now. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, leave my video a like. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and I hope you've got the tab to play along so you can always have this song in your repertoire. Keep on playing and have yourself a great day.